Good morning and welcome. This is Pastor Lucy Painter. This week we are doing a recap of the Personal Chronicles. Thank you so much for your support. We now have a website that is dedicated to the podcast. If you want to leave a comment, if you want to leave an emoji, if you want to leave a like, if you want to leave a suggestion, a question, you can do so on this web page. You can also support us or partner with us on the partner page through Patreon, through Anchor support, through Buy Me Coffee app. You can do all that in our web page. The web page URL is www.podcast.pastorlucypainter.com. Again, www.podcast.pastorlucypainter.com. You can subscribe through email and you get the episodes, updates, and notification in your email. And that way, you get to listen to the podcast and the episodes at your own time. God bless you and thank you for your support. Here is a recap of today's Personal Chronicles. Shalom. Hello and welcome. This is Pastor Lucy Painter with your daily insight. And this week I've been giving you Personal Chronicles, and welcome to day 3. Today I'm going to talk about a great deliverance that the Lord gave me some years back. More than a decade ago, I was living in an apartment unit near my hometown. I was working as a house help for a wonderful couple. The wife was a middle school teacher and the husband was a lab technician in the nearby hospital. Sunday was my day off and I would walk to church where I served and spent the whole day ministering. And although I was not earning a lot, part of my salary was to pay the church hall and the rest was for my upkeep. I stayed with this family for 10 months before I moved to another mission station. And during my stay there, I had an experience that really shook me to the core. On one Friday night during the month of October, I had prepared dinner earlier for the family and served them in the main house since my quarters were attached to the kitchen. Usually I would cook, put the food in the serving dishes, and after we were done eating, I had to clean the dishes before I slept. Normally I would take my meals in the kitchen after I had done everything. And now this particular night, everything was normal. I finished my chores and went to bed. I do not recall how long I was asleep before a loud bang startled me, prompting me to wake up. By now, I could hear people screaming, and there was a great commotion outside. It dawned on me that the whole residence was under attack. We were being robbed. Not one or two robbers, it was a gang. They were breaking into every apartment, and I could hear screams and pleading voices. At that moment, panic set in, and in a span of a few minutes, I had tried to hide in every possible place in my room. I went into the closet, covered myself in a blanket, but something inside me told me they would find me too easily. I tried to climb into the chimney, but then I thought that what if I fell down when the robbers got inside? Next, I went under the bed at the farthest corner. Then a voice within again said, "This is silly, they'll look for you in there." And finally, in frustration, I took out the money I had and the jewelry and placed it on the bedside table. I climbed into bed, covered myself and said, "Lord, into your hands I commit my spirit." And that was a prayer of resignation. I could hear some of the men neighbors screaming. And you know very well when you hear men screaming, it means that whatever the robbers were doing to them was unbearable. Possibly I thought it was my end. And in that moment of despair, I had them kick my door. I held my breath as they stomped in. One of them uncovered me and shouted, "Boss, what do we do with this one?" You can imagine by then I was trembling as a feather, preparing for the worst. The said boss came in, looked at me, and said, "Leave her alone. Let us go." After they left me untouched, all that was coming from my mouth is praise and thanksgiving to my God for his great deliverance. It's sad that most of my neighbors were hurt and they were taken to the hospital. I may never know why their boss spared me. Nevertheless, one thing I am certain about is that God delivered me that night. In the midst of danger, in the midst of trouble, he showed up and showed his faithfulness, and I was delivered. This and many more personal chronicles keeps my faith alive, that I'm not alone and that there is a God in heaven who watches over us and cares deeply for us. Be encouraged by these personal chronicles, day 3. May God bless you. May you be encouraged. This is Pastor Lucy Painter with your daily insights. Shalom.